Guys, it's Nick, and it's preview time for your Chicago Blackhawks facing off against the Colorado Avalanche tonight at 8:30 in Colorado. Yes, the Blackhawks face off for the first time this season in Game 1 of 82 to face off against the defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche on their banner-raising ceremony. This game is going to be a tough game, such as the season going to go for this year's Chicago Blackhawks team, as the Hawks are coming into a season where it's viewed as they're going to be one of the worst teams in the National Hockey League. But who knows? Something could happen tonight where the Hawks can upset the Avs because it's a banner-raising ceremony. Stuff like that does tend to happen on banner-raising nights. I get it, the Hawks didn't win on the Tampa Bay banner-raising ceremony 2 years ago, but teams who have their banner-raising ceremonies have a hard time with it. 2010 Blackhawks had a hard time on their banner-raising ceremony. They lost. 2013, it went to a shootout and the Hawks won. 2015, the Hawks lost on their banner-raising ceremony. And then most other banner-raising ceremonies by other teams, yeah, they tend to lose on them. So it's a tough game for that team because they're setting a target immediately on their back because they're going to want to contend again for the Stanley Cup. This game is going to be a tough game, as I've already mentioned multiple times, because the Hawks, again, are viewed as the worst team in hockey by a lot of fans and analysts around the league. But with this being said, we could see something happen where it's going to end up being a tough game, but maybe a closer game than what people think, because the Avalanche are going to be starting either Pavel Francouz or Georgiev in net for them. And then the Hawks are obviously going to be starting Peter Mrazek. Mrazek having a rough start on his final preseason game in St. Louis. Maybe we'll have a bounce back game tonight. So we'll see what happens there. This preseason game is going to be a tough game, but maybe a fun game. Not preseason game, I meant regular season game. This is game 1 of 82, right? But we need to see where this team is. Preseason, sometimes you don't see where the team is because sometimes players don't show up. A lot of them did not show up to play this year for preseason because they just did not play well. Granted, this team isn't going to be that good, but whatever. This is a season where the Hawks are rebuilding. We're going to have a tough time. Hell, when the Avalanche were rebuilding, the Hawks were still contending, and the Avalanche would beat us quite a bit. So maybe times change and the Hawks start beating the Avalanche even though the Hawks are rebuilding. That could happen. So I want to hear what your thoughts are going into tonight's game, and here is my pick for tonight's game. Who's going to have a big game, and a prediction I have for tonight's game. My pick to have a big game tonight for your Chicago Blackhawks, I'm going to go with number 88, Patrick Kane, just because Kaner tends to play a little bit well in Colorado, especially if you have a 2-day practice in Colorado. The Hawks tend to play well when they do that, especially Patrick Kane. And then I'm going to predict the first goal of the Chicago Blackhawks season tonight, and it's going to be a power play goal by number 4, Seth Jones. Why am I going with Jones on the power play for the first goal of the season for your Chicago Blackhawks? Well, the Hawks had 0 power play goals from defensemen last year, and usually stuff like that tends to change immediately in the next season. So I'm going with Jones for the power play goal tonight. So let's see if that happens. So down in the comments down below. I want to hear what your thoughts are going to tonight's game. And thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, we're in for a long season, but let's go hot.